Television for the Blind proudly presents Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 8, Issue 2, The Long Way Home, Part 2.
The opening image is a hot cup of tea sitting on a napkin beside a book. Beyond it are windows looking into a courtyard. I used to be a watcher, thought Giles. In the courtyard, dozens of slayers are fighting in chaos. Some are wearing black ninja masks, probably to separate them into teams. But there is clearly no sense of sides in this fight, just violence in every direction.
The organization existed since before there were cities. The Watchers' Council, always moving, always secret, but very much alive. There were hundreds of Watchers, and one Slayer.
Giles is seen standing in a balcony holding his tea. He is dressed in slacks, an open-neck shirt, and a sweater. He's been watching the fighting below.
Enough!
The slayers all stop and look up at him. Clearly, he's there as an instructor, and they stare up at him as if awaiting harsh criticism.
Scales have tipped of late,
Thought Giles. Giles is sipping his tea as he begins to review what he's seen.
I see some superior fighting out there. Technique and power that might just give Buffy Summers herself a run for her money. Impressive force. It is, of course, useless.
Giles stares down at the young women who look up at him in confusion.
You're all fighting alone, getting in each other's way, not protecting each other's flanks, failing to use your single most valuable asset.
A voice comes from behind the group of slayers, the voice of their leader, picking up where her mentor left off.
Each other, one slayer fighting alone is formidable. 2 is formidabler. Or 3, mega formidable. And after mega, it goes to mondo, then super, hyper, be a coup de crazy, stupid. It gets exponentially prefixy.
Buffy and the slayers closest to her are all armed with broken wooden practice swords. The 3 slayers that accompanied Buffy on her most recent mission are all staring at her. Buffy is looking at them with complete confidence and anticipation.
Leah, Satsu, Rowena. Would the 3 of you please kick my ass?
The 3 slayers jump into action and Buffy engages them. Buffy jumps forward and plants her foot in Satsu's face, knocking her to the ground. She managed to dodge attacks from Leah and Rowena, sweeping Rowena's surprise legs out from under her. In a moment, the 3 students are all at their teacher's feet. Buffy has the blade of her practice weapon pointed at Leah's throat.
So, 3 perfectly valid avenues to attack, good form, on 3 seasoned, well-trained corpses, one of whom, sidebar, has her best hair ever. Satsu, you're making me think I need a new look. See me after.
Buffy relaxes, letting the 3 slayers gather themselves in their pride and smiles.
So, let's break this down. The first clue, this was going downhill, clearly.
And the image changes from Buffy to Andrew.
Lando Calrissian's outfit. And I know a lot of you guys were going to say Ewoks, but that's too easy,
Says Andrew. Andrew is sitting in a large ring of slayers outside an Italian homestead at night. There are lanterns all around them. The scene suggests that they are having some kind of class or group building session. Andrew continues his lecture.
I love Empire. Of course I love Empire. Let's not waste time questioning my loyalties. But from the moment I saw Billy D in the hizzy, I smelled the troubles. I mean, it's great that George Lucas wanted to have an African best opinion character in the mix. But when he shows up with the cape and little bell bottoms, and I'm thinking, oh, he's gonna help Han and Chewie just as soon as he finishes the magic show for the kid's birthday party. I mean, knock knock, common sense trying to get in, doors locked. I'll buy a race of teddy bears with the unstoppable tree trunk technology any day over that outfit on a leader. Especially at a pep rally in junior high where you were supposed to be dressed as a cougar. From a friend, I heard that.
The slayers look at him in stupefied amazement. One of them is wearing a brass key as an earring.
So, does that answer your question?
No.
Okay. What was it again?
Another slayer chimes in. She has a purple mohawk and sunglasses on her forehead.
Weapons.
Right. Weapon.
How come we have to use all this medieval junk? We could totally get some guns and do some real damage. We're like fighting demons here. Let's up the ante.
Andrew puts his hand on his forehead, exasperated at the slayer's enthusiasm.
You didn't listen to a word I said, did you?
About Lando Calrissian?
No. No slayer carries a gun. Ever, end of talk. Good talk.
Andrew spreads his hands as he stands in the circle, ready to begin teaching again.
Okay, let's start off with some headbutts, shall we? Some do's and don'ts.
Back in Scotland in a forest, Dawn is taking a bath in a small pond. Her jeans are laid out over a treetop. Xander is with her, seated politely behind some brush so they can talk without him being able to see giant naked Dawn.
That's overstating it, don't you think?
I'm a giant. Everything I say is over.
She doesn't hate you.
She does. She hates me.
I say thee nay.
Fine, nah. Buffy doesn't hate me.
As Dawn stops scrubbing herself for a moment, her eyes turn down sadly.
She just wishes I'd go away.
Xander, facing away from her, still tries to reassure her.
She wishes you were at Berkeley, getting an education and stopping something other than villagers. Yeah, doesn't mean she doesn't like having you around.
All she does is yell at me.
And you what, recite sonnets? Sisters fight. It's a rule.
Dawn begins rinsing off, splashing water on her face.
What do you know? You don't have a sister.
Have you seen this place? I've got all my sisters in me.
Right, Buffy and all her new and improved Slayer sisters.
Hearing this, Xander turns his head towards her cautiously. When he speaks, she stares back at him in shock.
Donnie, don't roar a giant roar, but did you make yourself a giant on purpose?
Xander doesn't get an answer. Instead, he gets drenched with a sploosh as Dawn splashes water on him. Chagrined and damp, Xander turns back toward her.
You know, I only have 2 of these outfits.
Elsewhere, the sun is at the horizon in front of a building in the desert. There is a sign saying Dextrocorp Recycling Technologies. The man in the brown suit and General Vall are heard speaking from inside the building.
We have insertion, sir. Our op should be in and out by tonight.
Should.
In a closer view, Vall points his finger at the man in the brown suit, clearly annoyed with the indefinite answers. The inside of the building also has Drexelcorp name.
You know how much good shit it does me?
You're gonna say not much.
The 2 men enter an elevator like something from Men in Black that descends into a deep bunker filled with military equipment, including tanks. Drexelcorp is a cover for a military installation, much like the initiative was hidden beneath UC Sunnydale.
I'm gonna say a good goddamn deal more than that. If we have a coordinate on that bitch, we should nuke that damn site.
Yeah, okay. That's gonna get us noticed. Then indicted, then hung.
Hang.
Neither really works for me.
In the still descending elevator, Vall continues to point his finger in the man's face.
I don't expect a suit like you to have that kind of comment.
What if it doesn't work?
Finally, the 2 step off the elevator into a hallway and begin walking toward a door.
There's no problem so big or complicated that it can't be blown up. That's not saying we share it with the public, but...
We're dealing with magic. Leave that to the magicians, okay? Working with Amy, the op, is the best way to go right now.
And if she blows it, we send the monstrosity she calls her boyfriend in next.
That thing really is gross. And yes, I think we do.
Vall turns away from him, entering the door they've stopped at. It's Vall's quarters at whatever their base is.
I'm gonna get some shit out. Wake me up with a report. Let's hope it's a good one.
Once inside, Vall takes off his hat.
Suit. Just a suit.
Thanks, Vall. Vall begins removing his uniform shirt. On his dresser, he has a model biplane.
Walks and talks. Half by chance a man in it. Got no idea what at stake here.
A close-up of Vall's chest reveals that he has the same symbol on his chest that the dead man in issue number 1 did.
No